Hi guys, welcome back. So this time we're going to be doing a case of retronychia, or is it? So I put this picture up on the gram last week and a good friend of mine, podiatric surgeon from London, Susie Spear, says, really Ian, is that a retronychia or is it just an onychia? So that really made me think. Thank you for that, Susie. This lady presented a few weeks ago with pain, some drainage, both first nails, and that's really got that retronychia look about it. But as you can see, she uses nail polish, so there's an element of trauma being applied to that nail plate proximally, sort of the kind of the proximal nail fold. And while retronychia itself is relatively unusual, of course, this is a bilateral presentation, so that really made me think. So thank you, Susie. So I did a little bit of reading, went to the good old internet, found a few papers. There's a quite nice one by, what a wonderful name that is, Cristina Dines Borges Figuera de Mello. Nice paper, Cristina. And she's got a really nice picture in there that she uses. That's by Tonan, so just giving that the due reference. So I really think about a retronychia, and it's a relatively new subclassification of ingrown toenail, really, thinking about the plate almost kind of growing backwards. You think, well, how can a plate grow backwards? Well, you can certainly have situations where you get a toe being stubbed and the nail going all the way back into the proximal nail fold. And then here in this picture, let's use a different colour. You can see here in the picture they've talked about separate nail plates. So I've certainly had a few patients where they've had nail plate, we've done a total nail avulsion, there's been another plate coming underneath. I've even seen 3 plates, one main plate, a second and a third. And I think a retronychia really, as far as I've read and what I think about a retronychia being multiple nail plates, because you can't have an ingrown toenail growing backwards as such. And interestingly, looking at some of the papers, there is the differential between onychia, paronychia and a retronychia. Onychia being, and this is from Podopedia, but you'll find lots of references to this online. Onychia being an infection, inflammation of the nail bed and matrix, and the paronychia being really at the sides, and you'll often see a paronychia with an ingrown toenail, that little bit of sepsis down the side. So really made me think whether this was really a retronychia as I referred to it in the video coming up, or whether it was a chronic onychia, probably from some break in the continuity of the proximal nail bed, and then there's been a bacterial and fungal ingress. Now with this patient had tried antibiotics, so it hadn't settled down. Susie had mentioned in the response to me that maybe it was fungal and maybe to think about antifungal, so that's a good thought. But I'm super happy that we actually took the nails off, and you'll see from the underside of the nail plate really was quite irregular. So I think total nail avulsion without phenolization, which is what I did, was the treatment of choice, but happy to take some comments and some feedback.
It doesn't bleed, all right?
Because we just had the floor done. So, Rachel, we're just going to see if you're numb or not. So the question is, sharp or blunt?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, what about the tip though?
Yeah, it's all right.
No sharpness there.
No.
What about that one?
There was a little tiny bit when you first. Yeah, I could feel that.
A little bit there, okay. Well, so we'll come to that. We'll do this one first then. That one's all nice. Nothing there.
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Find out.
Let's see. Yeah. Keep in shot. So we're going to do. Really, I want my bins on because I'm getting to an age where I need to put binoculars in. Can you do that for me?
Oh.
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I used to have such good eyesight as well. Bright smile.
Age.
It does. It really does, doesn't it?
Apparently, I read somewhere, if you put rubber ice cubes on your wrist,
Yeah.
it helps with your eyesight.
Yeah. I read somewhere that Jesus was born of a virgin. I think we're both reading the wrong things.
No, I think that's true.
I don't. Tell you what, though, if you're having trouble with sort of eyesight things, conjunctivitis.com. That's a site for sore eyes. They're groaning. They're actually
I
groaning.
have this all day, okay? You were having it for half an hour. I've had to put up with this all day.
Right, let's have a look, see what we find. Yes.
Yeah, fine, thank you.
So what work do you do?
I work at a developer's.
Develop, what do you develop?
Photographs.
No.
Build houses. But yeah.
So you like a brickie then, Rachel?
I am, yeah. I'm
Okay.
out. No, I'm not out on site. I'm in the office, in the sales office. It's alright. I'm not. The injection was the bit where if anything was going to happen, it was there, and I was fine. But it's like one of those things, isn't it? You sort of want to let it be done, want to let it be done.
Yeah,
You can't really help yourself.
It's like sausages. I love sausages. You don't want to see how they're made.
Definitely not.
Ooh. So,
What's going on?
can't discuss a patient, I'm sorry. So you're trying to get an extra plate coming underneath.
That's
So-
that bit there.
So, tell you what, so this, you've got like an extra plate here. So and then that's root there. So it's still fairly attached. Sometimes you get a whole separate plate, but all of this is kind of separate there. Cutie, okay. So that's all out of clear. Oh, wait, can I get some gauzes, please, Chucky?
Oh yeah.
So, so you started to get a second plate going underneath, and that's why it's heaped up. That's why it's a bit swolled. Oops, tar.
Can I take a picture of that?
Second, Chuck.
Can I take a picture of that?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Quite interesting, isn't
So we'll just see what kind of.
it?
So this is just this is where some of the nail bed has just got a little bit thick, but there's really quite a defect in there. Really, I'm just going to tidy that up. So effectively, this heals in really a matter of kind of days, really, and then the new nail will grow over time. But by jingo,
Is that a good one?
yeah, it's a belter. Because the last two of these I tried to video, got underneath there, and there was nothing in it. It was like a real disappointment, really.
Oh, good.
That's all right.
Busy,
It is kind of nice. So I'm actually going to, because I want to get a little, that's a cutie, I want to get a little picture of the inside of that. So I'm going to stop that video there for a sec. So here's the end on shot. I'll just slowly zoom in on that. There really was quite a defect, a void in there, and I'm still trying to convince myself that there was a separate nail plate starting to grow underneath. So having watched the video back and read around, I'm still not entirely sure whether this was a retronychia or an onychia, but the underside of the nail bed, correction, the nail plate didn't look normal. It looked like there was some extra nail growing in. So there's a kind of a shot on it. I'll zoom in, and it's not the bestest shot, but certainly the proximal underside of the nail plate, it looked very odd. It didn't look like a normal thickness of nail plate. So we did both. So I went off and did the other side. It wasn't quite as good an angle on the right side. So here's a picture of both the nails, and you can see bottom of the picture is proximal. You can see there's a little bit of skin attached on the sides of the nails, and that white band that grows across, I'm really trying to convince myself that that was a separate nail plate coming through. Either way, I'm really happy that total nail avulsion was the way forward. So she was back a few days later, had quite a nice healthy wound. It was going to bleed in. You can see it's okay, it's a bit red and angry, but that's how they'd look. And the nail beds themselves will heal within a matter of a few days, a week or two maybe, as opposed to a phenol wound, and hopefully she'll get a nice new normal nail in 6 months' time.